Hello, guys, and welcome to episode one of my podcast. Yes, I know this is a really big time, and yes, I am actually recording this very early on Tuesday night. But I just want to say for those who are happy that these podcasts has come out, yeah, I am very happy too, and yeah, I just want to express some love and positivity to everybody as well. Before we get into the podcast, I want to share two things, and these two things that make my day. And I heard about these two things too, and by another YouTuber as well. So please don't get the hating. But one, this thing is sponsored by the Mandela Project. Now these people are a very good community that helps feed homeless and give clothes to more than 500,000 people in the world, more than 10,000. This is a community project service helping to share love and positivity around the world, giving homeless people food, shelter, protection, and clothes for more people, many more to come. Even into this future, you know, if you have clothes or you have canned foods you want to give away, don't throw them away. Donate them, donate them as much as you can, and maybe one day you'll be part of a kind of actness. And that much food and clothes and kind of actness will help somebody in need. And why not? You adding a good point to your sin, which means God will forgive you for a bad thing you did. And it's always good to help somebody out in this cruel world. So if you make a YouTube short or a video about donating, put up the sign hashtag the Mandela Project. And this is just to share with others with creativity and you know who loves helping the world out. This is a big improvement to the world. And so yeah, that's all I gotta say. And also another thing is, I heard this from Daryl Mays, and this is the guy that I shared the video on my channel because this guy is funny, and more people may not never heard of him. So I just want to spread some laughter and more positivity. And this is the guy I actually heard the Mandela Project from, because this he's a pretty good person. So thank you, Daryl Mays, for sharing that video, because if you didn't share that video, then the whole world would be in a bad way. So thank you for Daryl Mays for sharing that video, because without him, I would not even know about the Mandela Project. So thank you very much. And another thing I want to sponsor is Minute Maid, because their lemonades is pretty good. But let me ask you guys this question. And I know some of you may say no or yes, but be honest with me in the comments down below. Do you think lemonade chokes? Do you think, like, every time you drink lemonade from a restaurant, a bottle, a store, or you make your own lemonade, do you get the feeling that lemonade is too sweet, and like you feel like you're choking? This is every time I feel like when I drink lemonade, whether it's cold or hot, warm, or room temp. Lemonade is always the opposite of my drink. See, I always like to choke, and I don't pause. This is getting too weird on the lemonade subject, but yeah, the lemonade, I just don't like the vile taste of it, because one, is sour because it comes from lemons. Two, is super sweet, so it don't have a positive good thing about drinking it, but it has a good flavor of that sweetness. It cools down a summer day, but I just do not like drinking it that much, because I feel like I can, get a cold from it, and which is one of the things that I do not like drinking lemonades from. But it's pretty good. I like to drink, zero sugar lemonade, which can also help with, the choking of the sugar and the stuff. Just the consistency of the lemonade, I do not like. And so, I just like lemonades that are not like too sweet, too sour. I want them, balanced. I can drink them better. So yeah, this is lemonade. But just tell me what y'all think in the comment down below, because I don't know, lemonade is pretty much out of my consistency here. And yes, that is it for the two sponsors, the Mandela Project and Daryl Mays, because he's the person that shared this on. So thank you, Daryl Mays, about this. Onto the podcast, because I know you guys are ready for this. I'm doing a lot of stuttering. Yes, I know. This this is pretty my first big project. So yeah, on my channel. So I'm just hoping I can spread some positivity around. Um, most of my gaming channels, I know a lot of them don't have positivity, which is why I'm gonna start making, you know, which is why I'm gonna start making videos on my gaming with positivity. But some of them are gonna have laughter. I just want, laughter and more things to come in my way as we go, and it's pretty cool and all. But let's get on with the podcast. So on Infinite Teal's podcast, we will be discussing about things that are maturity in this world that is going on besides, things that don't go on. So, how the society goes and how the principles of last year and this year will go. And what's y'all biggest predictions and the biggest changes in 2023 will go. Now, my biggest predictions is that one, cars would definitely get shut off. I have dream cars that I really want to get, like a Charger or a Challenger. I love Scat Packs and Hellcats. But they are like the Hellcats, like they're upgrading, so they will be the last models of the V8s until the EVs come out, and then that's gonna really ruin my society. But hey, you're saving the environment, you're saving the future. There's nothing that will worry. A car is a car, but it's just that some people just don't like changes because the world changes too much, and then society will change a lot to their big personality, making that person feel insecure or not really too good about how the future will go. But I pray for whoever ever feel the same way I did and the same way that person did. I pray that you'll get over this, because I got over it and it didn't got good for me. But you know what? I said forget it. I gotta go ahead and continue my shot again until society will see my way through. And I can see my way through the stars and the shine and everything. But until then, we're gonna let it go. Number two, in 2023 prediction, my hypothesis in number two is that this is gonna be hard. Is that many more buildings are going to get changed. Now, my old neighborhood. Now, I used to live in my hometown. Everybody live in Memphis. Yeah, we know that. Memphis, Tennessee, Memphis. But I live in the down part of Memphis. We don't know that. That's where gangs. That's where like a dark neighborhood and a whole lot of stuff used to be so ignorant throughout the times. And when I say ignorant, that means the darkest neighborhoods. I used to live in a neighborhood, and while I was little, my dad, our only first car was a box Chevy. Yes, even though box Chevys are very old, box Chevys can still be built if you have the time and the patience. When I was little, my mom and my dad, we had box Chevy. That was our first car. Don't even say, did you have a truck? Did you have a car? No, a box Chevy is a car. That was, I see modern cars, but my dad, he was the type of guy who loved, trucks, lowriders, cars. He don't care about cars. And he's just the type of guy who likes to chill. He's the type of guy who likes, Chevy, box Chevys, trucks. But back in that time, I had to move away from that neighborhood because, one, me and my sister, we was growing up, and as we were growing up, we had to change schools in different locations of our neighborhood because one, I'll keep growing up and I can't go to that school no more, so we had to get out the neighborhood, had to move into an appropriate neighborhood where and change. We were still going to the same school. I'll tell you that. We were changing houses, but we were still going to the same school. So as I keep leveling up my age, that's where I had to move out. Them two neighborhoods that we moved out of, and then we had to go to a different school. And when we was all mature enough, so I stayed. Me and my sister, we stayed in these schools until I was like at a proper age of 10. Yes. At the age of 10, I got a, and you guys probably may remember this, you probably might not. I used to go to Georgia Hills Elementary, then middle, and then I moved to Cordova, and then that's where things started to affect my time because my parents, I'm not going to be exposing on this podcast, but my parents um, had a downfall with each other. So that was an appropriate time to move away, start to, deal with each other, and they don't want to deal with each other. So they just going to keep each other some space. And because of that, I can see how this is affecting me because one, the year has changing. And because the year is changing, the society and everything is, messing my time up because I'm moving too fast. I'm growing up too fast. And then I don't understand, what happened in between my mom and dad. My sister, she was, she's big, but she's little. So she was a little age. So she probably knew what her dad and her mom was doing at the time. But she probably don't want to know about all that. So, yes, and that's when the time starts. And then I stayed in some schools, and then we had to move away. So I stayed in them schools now. I'm still in Cordova now. And so a little things you guys don't know about me is that I'm in high school now. And I started this channel on July the 3rd, 2021. That was 1 year ago. You can go to my about page and see for yourself, and you can definitely see it. I have a big relative family. Yes. Shout out to my grandma because she's still living strong. She's battling through cancer right now, so I'm really not in the mood to handle no negativity. This is a positivity podcast, and yeah. I have an auntie. I have two aunties, a step and a real. I have one mom, two dads, a stepdad and a real dad, and I have two brothers. My big brother who lives, I'm not gonna tell y'all, but he's an adult. I have a teen brother who's a proper age of 17. Nope. No, 16. Yep. No, 17. My bad, 17. And so yeah, he's almost about that age to get out of the house. And I have a sister at the age of 13, and I'm 15. So it's really a responsive situation to my time. I have four cousins. I have one adult cousin and three little cousins. And my cousin is a toddler. My cousin is a baby, and my cousin, she's about to be in her upper time. And you know what that means? She's only like she's only like 9 years old. So I can imagine now. I may be wrong about my 9-year-old cousin's age. If I did, then I'll go back in the comments and change it. But yes, that's one big family. And I have relatives, but I just do not want to get into deep into details and whatever. So let's just keep it like that for now on. But if you guys got relatives, just tell me how many people you got in your family. I know I got a big family because I probably just do not remember them because I was little at the time. And what that means is that I was never around them. I was never talking to them. I was never by them because, one, I was always making money. And two, I was never gone at the house, which means I didn't want to come with my mom and my sister at the time. So yeah, it's one thing that's one thing that I really do not like to do is come at the house a lot. I like to chill. I'm a type of guy who listen to some music in the bed and close my eyes and chill and let my world comes to me. And then if you mess with my my space, then I'm the type of person, I'm not gonna think you guys thinking what I'm thinking, but no, I'm the type of person who don't take nonsense from anybody, who has like irritability, which means you irritates too much. And I'm the type of person who just chills out a lot. I don't do so much of what's going on. It's just so far things just don't go on in life. So what I do is just chill out. And it's one of the best things to do when you're in a bad situation. Just chill out. Just chill. Listen to some music and just chill out. A lot of people like to be in their own personal space, and that's one thing I love about me. I can be in my own personal space and I don't have to worry about nobody I deal with arguing with or being mad at. or I don't have to worry about nobody being in my space. Just me and my own self, and just thinking to myself, what can I do in the next neuron? So yeah, that's all about me. But enough with me. Um, One thing about this podcast is that we will not handle no negativity, bro. This is no negativity. This is a negativity free podcast. So if you like podcasts, and don't worry, this podcast will be funny because I'm gonna be doing a guest cast, which means I'm gonna get a bunch of people and we'll be talking on the podcast. We'll be agreeing. We'll be talking to a bunch of things. And if the podcast go out of situation, don't you worry because I got this under control. I don't think I got this under control the way that things will go. I think in season 2, that's when I'm gonna start doing. That's when we will start doing some changes. Um, and what that means is that I'm gonna start doing some changes to the podcast. And but season 1, that's when I'm gonna start doing a group cast. And then season 2, I'm gonna keep doing the group cast. And while that keep going on, I'm gonna change some rules, and then I'm gonna tell you guys about it. So yeah, but on season 1 there will be no rules at the time, but I will have to put in a few rules. Yeah, and it's gonna be pretty cool. The main difference about this is though that sometimes I'm gonna tell y'all this. Sometimes podcasts will definitely be. I'm gonna tell you this. Definitely be on the they will definitely be live. So that means you guys can react to anything that's going on. Anything that's going on in this podcast. And when I say this means that if you hear a certain word, I will respond back because by the time you guys say like, "Hey, can you rewind the podcast and see what's going on?" Or is you saying why you on live? No. I made the podcast. When this goes live, this means you guys going to respond live. So I'm not making this. Like I'm not speaking while the podcast is going. No. I'm not speaking while I'm on live. No. This means the podcast has already been made, and while the podcast is running, the live stream will be talking. So y'all will be talking, y'all will be agreeing, y'all will be doing anything. Anybody who's new, they can respond to y'all too. And I won't have to put no restrictions like subscribe only and type stuff. No. And this is definitely not for kids, like kids who can't handle maturity and they're not under mature enough. So, you know what I'm saying? No more of that. So that means my channel is not for kids who love to hear cuss words a lot and just start get the oohing a lot. And no, this is not it. This channel will be improved, and this channel will stay live. This means this channel is for gaming and entertainment and podcasts. No kids related things whatsoever. But I will have to say this though. This means you guys cannot be talking a whole lot of smack to each other. We do not want no arguments, no beef, and then it's going to end up to a shootout. I'm not trying to be on the news, first of all. But if I be on the news about some positive things, then good. We're on a good track. But no beef between nobody. I do not want nothing to happen. I already said what I got to say about my family. I said my mom and my dad, they had a little discussion. And they're living to their best lives they can. So that means you can too while you listen to this podcast, and do not get to beefing with anybody you do not know on this channel. Meaning whoever subscribe and respond and they start saying, putting your name in, saying like, what do you think about this podcast? Do you think that he's right about social media or whatever? And you start get to talking and y'all get to beefing. No. So this going to be a no beef type podcast. So if you start get the beefing, then I'm going to have to tell you to stop it. If you get the beefing again, then that's when I'm gonna have to do some rules and I'm gonna have to change some things around on YouTube on my channel to stop the beefing. And that's on me. I'm not trying to do no beefing with nobody, and you should not be beefing either. Another thing on this podcast that I would like to say is that if you enjoyed this podcast, like the video, comment down below, because like I said before, the whole season will be up to 13 episodes. And once season 2 comes out, then it will up the limit up to 14 episodes. And after that, you know, it's just gonna be normal. But this will be a history record that when as the channel grows, new people comes into my channel, they'll see that I made a podcast, a whole lot of things that's going on. So yeah, like the video, comment down below. And if you're new, subscribe because I'm just getting started once we hit 1K. So